Hello, hello, hello. This is Kathy of kathysright.com. I hope you're having a lovely day. I'm having a lovely day, I think. I'm having fun because it's kind of a funny day. But be blessed, warm welcomes, and good tidings. I hope that you're counting your blessings today because we have so many. We have so many. When things go wrong, I mean, there was a terrible accident on a road nearby yesterday, and a woman lost her leg, is what I heard, and it was terrible. And all the way home driving, all I could think of was how that must feel, and it must be terrible. I always say a prayer, do the sign of the cross and say a prayer when I pass an accident, because I just always pray that everybody's going to be okay, because it's hard to come back from things like that. But other than that, let's talk about Jussie Smollett. Yesterday, I believe it was, he got indicted for what he did last year this time. It was last January when he accused some Trump supporter of actually beating him up. Two, in fact. And his story was, as I recall, he was coming out of the subway. He had gotten to Subway to get a sandwich, and he was attacked by, his words, two white males who doused him, poured bleach on his head, and put a rope around his neck and beat him, and then ran off. And that all sounded so fishy, and I felt sort of guilty because I remember thinking, that can't be right. I mean, at 2 a.m. in the morning, how many people are out, for one thing, but how many walk around with a gallon? Oh, then they said that when they beat him, when they attacked him, he said that they said, this is MAGA country. So basically the whole thing was all because they were apparent racist. And they also called out his name as though everybody watched that show, because I don't watch that show. I wouldn't have known his name until this story came out. And I thought, wow, because he really thinks somebody's going to buy that? And he was standing, when they interviewed him, he was standing still with a rope around his neck. And he, throughout the attack, apparently he held on to that sandwich. I'm just sorry. He held on to the sandwich and kept the rope around his neck. So, that's all kinds of fishy. So how did it take them a whole year to indict him is what I wonder. Because when they found the two guys, they turned out to be two black guys, very well built. They had been extras in some movie, I believe, and they were Nigerian. And so they probably would have had an accent. And so I guess if they said, this is MAGA country, I don't know what the Nigerian accent would be. But they actually had video of the guys purchasing these items at the hardware store, and they had video of that. So how did it take them a whole year? I mean, first the whole thing was thrown out because they wanted to protect him. But I guess this country is just so racist that people have to go out and make up racist attacks because that's even too far-fetched. And he apparently had some connections from what I hear, but I just thought that was hilarious because this is MAGA country. I'm sorry. It's so beyond believable. And he literally thought that up, but he didn't drop his sandwich. I was impressed by that. I mean, he fought back, so he must have done it with one hand. Two guys, one hand, he fought back while holding on to that sandwich. And his clothes looked fine. I mean, if bleach was doused on them, there would have been like, as bleach dries out, the damage starts to show. No such thing here. So I'm wondering what kind of brainiacs do they have there in Chicago that just, it takes them that long to indict a person for a fake racist crime. That's crazy to me. Oh, Jussie Smollett. I mean, that was really bad. Well, but look at what you put the country through. I mean, we were laughing to ourselves, but then once we found out that we were right in the beginning, it was funny. But yeah, how dare you go and try to trash Trump supporters and throw that kind of crap. I mean, you Democrats are the ones that do the damage. You're the ones that keying people's cars and throwing people out of restaurants. You guys are the ones that are turning over trash cans and destroying public property and college campuses when conservatives come to speak. Now, when a liberal comes to speak, do you see any of that kind of damage? I don't see it. I've never seen it. We don't do that kind of crap. We just don't. We're not made that way. We're a little bit more civilized, I believe. But yes, thank you, Jussie, for the laugh. And I hope everything works out for you. I think you really deserve to do some kind of jail time. I don't know if you're going to get that, but it would do you well. I'm sure they will separate you like they do most movie stars and that kind of thing. But God bless you all in Chicago. Okay, let's go to Joe. Joe Biden. He can't open his mouth without tripping over himself. And nowadays, I mean, called some lady a pony or something. And where did that come from, Joe? Is this kind of like your corn pop story? Or, I mean, he just does, it doesn't end with him. He just does damage. Joe, if you're listening, which I doubt you are, but if you are listening, obviously you have no one that cares enough about you to tell you that you really need to sit down now. Go home and enjoy your kids and your grandkids. I heard you have a new one. Didn't Hunter just settle something? Go play with your grandkids. Have fun. I hope they don't have to rub your hairy legs because that would be really weird. Because I think you're weird already, nibbling on people's ear. And people say, oh, it's so innocent. I don't understand how he's just a touchy-feely person. Well, you don't see him nibbling on some guy's ear. You don't see Joe Biden ever going up behind a guy like that and nuzzling their neck or ear. Obviously, it is sexual in some nature. So if you don't do it equally between guys and women, then obviously there's a sexual tone to your behavior, Joe. Oh, Joe. Nevertheless, this week has been chock full of hilariousness. I watched The View again. Got nothing out of it. I don't know why. I just watch it to see. Nobody likes to watch it but me. I'll watch it so you don't have to. But I just think the same thing that I said about Joe. You know, if there's someone around you that loves you and they see you making a fool of yourself every time and embarrassing yourself, then a loving person would say, stop. You know, sit down before you embarrass yourself even more. But the more he speaks, the more, less than intelligent he sounds. So, Joe, go somewhere and just enjoy yourself. You've got plenty of money, you know. Don't further indict yourself with your mouth. But, yeah, they've offered quite a few. I saw some memes today that I just sat here laughing. I have a new Facebook friend, and her memes are hilarious. I won't tell you her name because I don't want her to have trolls, but I just go on her page and I find myself just laughing. I think laughter is the best medicine for everybody. If you can't laugh at yourself, then you're not going to be much fun for anybody else either. I laugh at myself all the time. I crack myself up. I really do. It's almost kind of, I wonder if I'm crazy because I do, I make myself laugh because I do some crazy things. Like, for instance, I'm raised, in the South, and my mother raised me to be very polite, to excess, I think, because now I find myself in my own home alone, and I'll bump into something, a piece of furniture, and I'll say, excuse me, and then I laugh because, oh my gosh, Kathy, that's terrible. That's a thing. That's an inanimate object. But it was funny to me, and I think that if we're amused by our own idiocracies, then life is short. I mean, life is so sweet when you get to laugh. One thing I really love about my big, beautiful family is that when we do have a funeral or a really sad occasion, we laugh so much. I mean, we have the wake and then we have the funeral. And even though we go there all sad, we still laugh. I mean, my father died. That was terrible, terrible, years ago. And when he died, my mom had a big funeral, limousines and everything. It was wonderful. And everybody, got in we were all somber. We got back into the limousine. We got home, where we had kind of received a bunch of people. And so we couldn't find my sister's husband, Harold. And does anybody know where Harold is? Didn't he get in your car? No, we didn't know where Harold was. Harold's a big guy. He wasn't a little puny guy. He was a big guy. It's hard to miss. And it turns out we left Harold at the graveyard. Everybody forgot Harold. And we got the biggest laugh that day about that. And my daughter said after that, my daughter and I went to visit my mom. My father's now dead. My mom keeps everything. She doesn't throw anything away. And my daughter says, I have a headache, Grandma. Do you have anything for a headache? And my mom reached into her very full cabinet and she got out this bottle of aspirin. And she said, now, darling, she goes, now, these are the same aspirins. I gave your grandpa one of these, the night he had his stroke. And Margot said, well, what happened? And my mom said, well, he died, baby. So I'm sitting there laughing because Margot's like, I'm not taking one of those. And so we all had a good laugh. And tears were rolling down our eyes because we were laughing so hard. But I'm sure my dad was laughing with us because it was funny. I have a very amusing family. My husband is very funny. Life is good when you have people around you that can laugh. We've been married 32 years now, 33 actually, this March. And I think that's what's held us together besides Jesus Christ, of course. But I think laughter has held us together because he can make me laugh when I'm furious at him. I mean, I'll be so mad. I'm just like steam is coming out of my ears. Then he'll say something funny and it makes me mad because I can't help but laugh. So I recommend for everybody, if you see someone sad or something, if you can't make them smile, go for the laugh because that might bring them out of it. And say something kind because it doesn't cost you anything to say something kind. You might make their day. So anyways, those are the main points I want to talk about today. Laughter, love, life, death. Oh, there was that other thing. Okay, on The View, every single day, every 5 days, 5 days a week, they say that Trump lies. Every day. Joy Behar, she's my favorite one to despise right now. But Joy Behar always says it. But you get this, she never, ever, ever says what the lie is. What did he lie about exactly, Joy? But they never say it. They just say he lies. Which, to me, it's sort of like throwing out the racist thing, That's a cheap argument. It's a lazy argument. It means you have no facts. It means you have no case. You have your statement has no value because you have to throw in a word like lie or racist. That's a lazy, lazy argument. I've been in many, many political arguments. And when they go there, they got nothing left. So when someone in your family calls you one of those things, they got nothing. So, okay, I guess we're done here because they want to shut you down or up. And just remind them that's pretty lazy. Let's deal with the facts. This country is not a racist country. Are there racists here? Absolutely. But as a whole, this country is awesome. I've been to over 35 states of this country. And there are good people in every one of them. I went to Idaho. I think I mentioned that before. I went to Idaho. I had the most wonderful time. I I was the only black person I saw in Idaho. I was the only one.